So now we come to NASA, okay? And our training simulator here actually is very basic. As a matter of fact, we used to run grade 8, grade 9 students through it, and they had no problem with it at all. But when we went to NASA and put some scientists through it, 20 of them, scientific managers as well as researchers and so on, they had a hell of a time with it. Really, really difficult. And that's when it got their attention, because they all came in thinking, this is a game, this is just going to be fun, we'll just get over this and be out of here in a couple of hours. 2 days later, they're still working at it, scratching their heads, saying, why can't we figure this out? And again, it's the experiential exercise that really gets people engaged, and they realize, I want to figure this out. We had done some work for a company by the name of TRW, who actually designs and makes spacecrafts for NASA, research satellites for NASA, and they actually launched them and put them into orbit. And one of the spacecraft that was at that time fairly important was called the Hubble telescope. And this was putting an actual optical telescope above the Earth's atmosphere, so the telescope doesn't have to look through the atmosphere. And this would give great clarity and be able to see far beyond any optical observatory on Earth. And the problem with it is that they got it into orbit, but it couldn't see. Something was wrong. And so I was called by the head of NASA at those days to say, come in and take these scientists through the Tatham system, because they're all working as individuals, as scientists usually are, and getting scientists to work together is just about impossible. And so for 2 days, we came into our simulator where they'd have to learn how to solder, so to speak, but we had all the other functions in there as well. And I remember the morning I came in, and here I am facing 18 of NASA's most brilliant scientists, and they're here to go through this silly, stupid thing where we're going to solder wires and all of that. And their arms were crossed. And I walked in and I said, you folks don't look like you want to be here. And he says, no, what? Quite frankly, you're right, we don't. I said, you know something? I don't want to be here either. But the chief NASA administrator has basically said that we're going to be here for the next 2 days. Now we can sit around and play cards and talk war stories if you like, or we can give this a try. Oh, okay, fine, we'll give it a try. Well, you wouldn't believe the outcome of that. The first day is formally over around 5 in the afternoon. At 10 o'clock at night, they were still working at it. They were still trying to figure out what was going on here. And on the second day, it was fantastic. They became the best group of supporters of what this is all about that I've ever seen. And it eventually ended up coming up with a solution for the Hubble telescope, getting it to see again, and not only that, overhauling and doing all of their ground-based systems, which will take the data from the telescope and bring it down to the scientific community. And it was just one of those phenomenal successes. It energized and ignited that whole organization.